My path in poetry is about change. I believe in nature. I believe in writing for positive change, writing to change the society, because poetry is about us, it's about everyone, it is life. Poetry lives with us, so we can't run away from that. So my part when it comes to poetry is to be able to preserve the future for the unborn, to write about Africa, to write about issues that concerns us as humanity, issues of peace, issues of conflict around the world, which I'm very passionate about. I'm a peace activist. I believe that without peace, we have nothing in the world. So my poetry is centered on peace, centered on nature, and everyday experience.
Africa, I hear your voice so strong. Africa spoke to me this day to buzz the rust of war and famine that brings poison to all. The taste of my soul is the voice of Africa. Africa, the music of my voice. Africa, I hear your voice so strong. Africa spoke to me this day to buzz the rust of rulers who like drought suck the land dry. The taste of my soul is the voice of Africa. Africa, the music of my voice. Africa, I hear your voice so strong. Africa spoke to me this day to buzz the wrath of rulers that sap and drain her true power. The taste of my soul is the voice of Africa. Africa, the music of my voice. Africa, I hear your voice so strong. Africa spoke to me this day. To buzz the rust of a land as the sound of brotherly love teen heavily, infusing bitterness. The taste of my soul is the voice of Africa. Africa, the music of my voice. Africa, I hear your voice so strong. Africa spoke to me this day to buzz the rust of a land so rich in the shadows of corruption as inequality gap yawns. The taste of my soul is the voice of Africa. Africa, the music of my voice. Africa, I hear your voice so strong. Africa spoke to me this day to buzz the rust of a land whose belly is full of seeds, yet empty. The taste of my soul is the voice of Africa. Africa, the music of my voice.
I don't think poetry can be an alternative to war and violence. I think poetry can be used as a vehicle, as a medium to create awareness so that people will know that without peace, there's nothing that can be achieved. So that people will know that we need to live as one humanity that we are, and we need to accept each other. We need to accept ourselves as basically the same, even though we are different in our cultures, in our tradition, our religion, and the color of our skin, but we're one people, we're one humanity. So poetry can be used as a tool for positive change, but I don't think poetry can replace violence, war. I don't think it can. But if you look at it the other way, if we divert our minds, the minds of the young ones, towards the arts, to creative in the arts, perhaps their minds can be better developed to understand the things that affect humanity and know that war is one of the basic things that affect humanity. And in that way, yes, it can be used in that form. But I don't think poetry can replace conflict. It can only be used to create awareness for a better society.
Africa, the land of the great sunrise. We taste the culture dug in gold. Not all united upon our ancestry. Our land births humanity to a root in Africa. To the same truth, our waist drums for us to dance. Africa gave us all that nature gives. Wider than the sky we met her, diverse, saddened by age, stretching in an unending rainbow. In a heart the children sing falsely. Africa told us the truth, and our lips open in the harmattan. War has no eyes, a thing we know not. We grow like a baobab tree. We grow sun like porridge going to the god. The masters were serving great fish to all. We paused before we passed. Africa, a place of beauty for centuries, but never for a day. Her invigorating, magnificent mountains are unending. A oneness, a wholeness in a graveyard of treasures. We saw green palm trees, then we saw a worm. We spoke with ourselves.
There will always be conflict in the world. There will always be conflict. Why? Because people are different. We think differently and we approach issues differently. It's not the conflict that is the problem. It's how we go about the conflict, how we go about solving our differences, understanding ourselves. These are the basic issues. There will always be conflict. It's part of life. We Africans, we have our traditions, we have our culture, we have the things that our forefathers believed in before the white man came and brought religion and brought his culture and education. We have education in our own form as well. We have oral tradition. This poetry we're talking about, Africa is rich in poetry, in oral poetry. And we have gods that we were worshipped because they were believed that they had powers. We have Oshun, the god of the river. We have Ogun, the god of lightning. It's believed that these gods have their own powers and all that. That is also reflected in our arts because it is part of our life. It is part of who we are as a people. You discover that artists capture the god of thunder, the god of lightning. I have a poetry on the sea goddess called Mami Water. So there's a belief. I don't believe in that, but I'm just capturing the belief that, where I come from. We have this goddess, half fish, half human, that lives in water, and there are lots of stories about the kind of power she possesses, how beautiful she is a mermaid. So this sort of belief, we capture it in our arts, in our poetry, in our drawings, and all sorts of things, because it is what, we believe in as a people, what we think is the reality in those days. Some still believe in it, some still worship the gods. There are some people in Africa who are still traditionalists. They still worship the gods, and it is part of their life.
Africa of yesterday, Africa of our ancestors. Africa enlarged by tears of pride. Africa saw the earth god enrich her native land. We wore abundance around our waists, ankles and arms like armlets. Our chiefs were chiefs. They are Africa from the ancient royal stools. They offer the drink in libation to Mother Earth. Fertility grew into communities and rivers. Kola nuts in a calabash they bought. Palm wine in a gourd they poured. To the sea god and the river god, many gods and many spirits live piteously on the floor of our planet. No sun outlives the sunset. Africa will bring the dawn.
And the role of art in the transmission of the world is very, very crucial and very important, because art is on the street. Art is everywhere. Without art, there's no life. What that means is that promoting art is like we are also promoting who we are. And we can use art to transform the world. We can use art to change the world. As I said earlier, we can use art for positive change. Communication, the word is very powerful. Words are very, very powerful. More powerful than weapons. and it can be used to effect change society, to change minds, to change lives.